So I am here with Marc Koehler, and he has written this excellent article, which you should definitely check out. It's in issue 20 of Legacy Arts magazine. And what it's called is Get Back Control of Your Life. And Marc, he starts off this article with this story about his family and how it was this complete disaster. And Marc, this was back in 2005, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay,
Yes.
great, and thank you, by the way, for joining us. It's so good to see you and see your enthusiastic smile.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
definitely. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. So.
yeah, definitely. So yeah, we'll just kind of jump in and
Yeah.
so Marc, what you did is you created a family plan to kind of get your life back on track. And why did you do that? I mean, what was kind of the breaking point of why you created this one-page family plan that has kind of saved your life now, or saved your family?
Yeah. I think pain causes us to action. A lot of people, we don't want to change and we feel comfortable, even if it's sort of painful. And I remember it being a really painful day, and it led up to, from many other painful days that were before it. Although I had stated that family was the most important, a lot of times I was taking phone calls at my daughter's volleyball game, right? Business phone calls, or I was stuck out in the garage, working till 11 o'clock at night. And so, I had this really painful realization that I could go into any business and help turn them around as a turnaround CEO, get everybody on the same page, engaged, aligned, moving in the same direction. And I was spending 13, 14-hour days doing that, expending all of my energy there. But then when I got home, I couldn't sit and read my child a book. I was just way too tired. And the breaking point really became is, hey, is this how I want my family to remember their father? And this is how I want my wife to remember her husband? And the answer was definitely no. And so the breaking point was like, hey, I have really nothing to lose or everything to lose in what I'm doing, the current way I'm doing things. And so just looking at it, I said, hey, let's take all the stuff that you do in business that you're so intentional about, and let's apply those to the family part of your life. And one of the things that's made me really successful as a turnaround CEO is doing a one-page business plan where I can get everybody on the same page. So I just said, hey, let's take my family through and create a one-page family plan. And that was a day that changed everything.
And Marc, so what I love about your one-page family plan is, like, I've seen all kinds of things just because I've been in this industry for a while, and there's some incredible tools out there. But what I loved specifically about what you're doing is it's very, very simple. You're not talking about some huge manual that you have to go through. It literally is all on one page, and you can kind of, create your mission statement there, look at your family health and what's going on. And
Yep.
can you tell me how that's changed the way that you interact with your family?
Yeah, you know what? I did a lot of research on this, and this is from goal setting, and people have done research. If you just state a goal, you're about 15% likely to get it done. If you actually write it down, you're about 45% likely to get it done. If you write it down and tell someone else about it, it goes up to about 80%. And so what I saw was that I was doing that at work. I was creating a plan at work, and I was committing to people to do that. So I was really committed to do that. On the other side of my life, for my family, I was saying that family was the most important, but I hadn't made a commitment to say, this is our statement of our mission statement of who we are, and here's our values, and here's our commitments that I'm making to you. And so what was happening was the business side was running me over. So I can tell you, how long did it take? Like almost immediately, I had something to push back and create a boundary on the work side of my life so that I could better manage being a better parent and being a better husband in my marriage. And so the impact was almost immediate of what really happened. And what was that impact like? I was really clear, my family and I were really clear about what it meant to uphold our family name. What does it mean to be a Koehler? Like, what are the things that we're doing? And we started referencing that in every single conversation that we had. So getting clarity about that allowed me to set better boundaries, and my family saw, hey, Dad's not taking the phone call at dinner, right? I actually had a commitment, like, we're going to have dinner 4 nights a week. It's going to be device free. And it was painful. I wanted to pick up that phone, right? I was addicted to my phone. And so the ability to have that, to set boundaries was huge. Like that's one big thing. I would share with you one other great thing was that I started parenting using my values. So as an example, one of our values is family first. My middle daughter, she's very emotional, loves us to death, but we found often that she would treat her friends better than she would treat family. It was a way different conversation because she had bought into family first as our first value. When I came home, my wife said, hey, go upstairs and like, take Liesel, she's not being a good girl and all stuff. It changed the conversation from, hey, you didn't behave really well. I was able to ask her a question. And I said, hey, Liesel, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 on our family value of family first. With this situation, how did you do? And she'd say, hey, I did a 3. And then it was easy. I'd say, hey, what do you need to do to get to an 8? And then she became a decision maker throughout that whole process. So it changed how I parented. It changed how I made decisions because every decision was reflected in how does that support our family values and how does it support our family mission and the family rituals that we have established. So biggest thing is it gave me a boundary because I'd made a commitment to my family.
Oh, that's excellent. And I think most people, or a lot of people, at least at one point in their life, have been where you were, which is feeling out of control, right? Like you don't talk to your family like you wished, and maybe your relationships break down, or you don't see each other. What kind of advice do you have to someone who is feeling like maybe their families are not quite to the ideal level that they hope, or they're not spending the kind of time that they need to with their families to make a difference?
Yeah, what I would say to you is I was where you're at, and I think what I want everybody to know is that you have a choice. You have a choice to go, hey, I'm going to continue doing the actions that are getting me these types of results. I have a choice to continue doing that, or I have a choice to do something different. And so the ability to know that you have a choice. Now there's consequences to your choices. So as an example, if I don't show up for work today, I'm not going to get paid, right? But that's my choice. And some people don't feel they have that choice. So the thing is, the first step is get really clear with yourself and your family. Don't do this on your own. It's with your family. Get really clear about what it means to uphold your family name. What's your family mission? And what are your top 5 values? If you get clear on that, that's your family story. Like think about standing in front of a room of where there's 100 seats in the room, and 50 of the seats are your ancestors from your tree that aren't even alive. And think about 50 seats are full of people who haven't yet been born in your family tree. And you're presenting to them your family story. Like you have the ball right now of your family name and your family story, and what you do with it really matters. So I would say to you, I was there, I get it, but if you get really clear, it's going to help you to set stronger boundaries and help you to achieve more harmony and balance, and it's going to help you to strengthen and deepen the relationships you have at home, either with your spouse or with your children.
I love that, Marc. And one thing that I love too is you are very ambitious. And so, I mean, at the time, at least in your article, you talk about how you were trying to turn around, 3 big companies, and you have this incredible entrepreneurial background, in helping companies and management and so on. And it's not like you just dropped that or something. Of course, your family mattered to you, but you really can have it all. I mean, if you put things in priority and make those choices, you can be that ambitious executive type, but still have a great family. And I think that's really what the message is, right? That if you have that simple plan, it's not like you have to have pages and pages. You've got this 1-pager plan.
Yeah.
And those simple connections really do make all the difference.
Right. And I would just add one other thing. Your success in business and our success in life is now predicated upon how many times you say no to the chaos that's flying at you. And so when I became really clear about how I wanted my day to end with my family and the energy that I needed and the time that I wanted to allot to them, I became way more efficient in the business side of my life and was able to say no. And my mom and dad would be abhorrent if I didn't say no, thank you. No, thank you. I cannot do that today. No, thank you. I have to do this. So it made me say, hey, look yes, I could do that, but how important is that to get done today? And again, it gave me that boundary. So your ability to say no or no thank you is huge. And you only are allowed to do that when you prioritize what's most important on each side. And then you can more easily intentionally say no to the things that matter less and put them on a back burner.
Excellent. Well, good. Well, Marc, thank you again for spending a few moments, and make sure to check out his article. And how do people find out about you?
Yeah, so you can, we're on Facebook. We have a fast growing community. We have over 7,000 members in the community right now. And so you can go to Bond Your Family, and that's on Facebook. And then you can go to Lead with Purpose, and we have a business side and we have a family side. And you just click on the family side and you go to look at how you can create a one-page family plan.
Excellent. Well, good. Well, thank you again so much. And I will let you get back to your day.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
If you're interested in passing your non-financial assets like your wisdom, your values, and your beliefs to your family and leaving a great impact on the world, make sure to grab a free subscription to our online magazine. Go to legacyartsmagazine.com and you'll see it there. In every issue, we interview fascinating people about their legacies, from Fortune 500 CEOs to artists to philanthropic leaders to best-selling authors. We also offer tips, guidance, and strategies for developing an excellent legacy of your own.